जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। जय ओम विष्णुपाद ब्रह्म सद्गुरु जगदाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतनाम की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परम जगदाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड की। वृंदावन धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की। श्री मायापुर धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की। तुलसी देवी की। भक्ति देवी की। गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories. Shri Guru. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये। नश्यप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च गोविंदाय नमो नमः। We are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 11, Calculation of Time from the Atom, text number 7. निमेष स्त्रीलवो ज्ञेय आत्मा तस्ते त्रयक्षणा क्षणान् पंचविदु काष्ठां लघुता दश पंच च निमेषस्त्रीलवो ज्ञेय आम्नातस्ते त्रयक्षणा क्षणान् पंचविदु काष्ठां लघुता दश पंच च निमेषस्त्रीलवो ज्ञेय आम्नातस्ते त्रयक्षणा क्षणान् पंचविदु काष्ठां लघुता दश पंच च निमेषस्त्रीलवो ज्ञेय नात्रस्ते त्रयोक्षणा काष्ठां लघुता दश पंच च आम्नातस्ते त्रयोक्षणा क्षणान् पंच विदुकाष्ठां लघुता दश पंच च निमेषस्त्रीलवो ज्ञेय आम्नातस्ते त्रयक्षणा क्षणान् पंच विदुकाष्ठां लघुता दश पंच च माताजी okay nimesha the duration of time called nimesha trilava the duration of three lavas neya is to be known amnata it is so called te they trayaha three shanaha the duration of time called shana shanan such shanas pancha five vidu one should understand kashtam the duration of time called kashta laghu the duration of time called laghu ta those dasha pancha 15 cha also translation the duration of time of three lavas is equal to one nimesha the combination of three nimesha makes one chana five chanas combined together make one kashta and 15 kashtas make one laghu purport by Srila Prabhupada. By calculation, it is found that one laghu is equal to 2 minutes. The atomic calculation of time in terms of Vedic wisdom may be converted into present time with this understanding. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitastam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much, all of you, for joining for the Bhagavatam class. I humbly seek blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas here and all those who are attending it online also. So, in today's this verse, this whole chapter, we are actually discussing about time in Srimad Bhagavatam. And in this material world also, everybody talks about time management. But the fact is that, and everybody talks about how we can control time, how we can manage time. But the fact is that we are controlled by time. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that aham evaksha kalo, that I am also inexhaustible time. And time is the representative of Krishna, because in due course of time, that everything is going to get annihilated. Whatever plans we make, whatever things we are doing, that eventually is going to go. And in this chapter, we are discussing different units of time, and very scientifically defined, because in material world or the scientific knowledge, there are very limited understanding of that. Hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, like that. But here it is more detailed, what exactly it means. So, for those who are looking for a spiritual higher purpose, then for those people, this time is like coming closer to the eternal life. And Srila Prabhupada always, insisted that those who are serious about making spiritual advancement, they should discipline this time. And we really don't know how much time is left for us during this lifetime. Like in medicines, the manufacturing date and expiry date is mentioned. But for us, we just know our manufacturing date. In this lifetime, whatever our birth date is there, that we know. But the expiry date, we don't know. So, people generally celebrate different milestone during their lifetime. Like, when the child become for 1 year, from there it begins. So 1 year, so birthday celebration for that. Then 5 years, 25, 50, then 75, and go so forth. Like, But this, unless like we are devotees, we understand the importance of this. But generally, everyone just is trying to enjoy these moments, these milestones, thinking that it is their own achievement. But actually, it is Krishna's mercy that whatever lifespan we have, we don't have much control on that. Very little control is there, and ultimately, everybody is inching towards that final death. So these bigger milestones, there is hardly any importance to we give for our every moment what we have in the life. We may okay, so much of time I have spent, but every moment, how much importance is given is very important. So this every moment in our Krishna conscious life it can be a celebration. It need not be those number of years. Why it can be a celebration if we are using that moment in the service of Krishna or in the remembrance of Krishna. And we often use this verse, Lava Matra Sadhu-sanga. And over a period of time, we kind of become little casual in using this, this verse. Easily we quote, Lava Matra Sadhu-sanga. But the important is that we need to continue to take for developing this love for sadhu-sanga. Our ultimate goal is to develop love for Shri Radha Gopinath or Shri Radha Krishna Lord Chaitanya. So that love should become the love for sadhu-sanga. That is something which we need to meditate upon. So in every moment which we are spending, it has the potential to experience something which is life-changing, which can transform our heart, and we can do something better. So many times people talk about spending time. Now this terminology of spending time, if we just change externally also, it can be, can be a transformational thing. Instead of spending time, if we start saying that investing time. So spend time, it can be done on useful things and useless things also. But when we say invest, we'll definitely invest in something which is valuable and important for us. Like if we invest money, when we say spend money, it is gone. But when we say invest, then that investment is going to give us some returns. So we have to choose our goals wisely. And time we utilize on these goals is an investment. It is not expenses, or it's not spending time. Sometimes we say spend time, or we sometimes even say we kill time. That is more horrible. Because ultimately time is going to kill us, but we say that we are killing time, but it's not like that. So, so balancing of these investments are very important. They're physical, emotional, and social, all. So successful people, they actually use their time. It's called something on personal bank account. So the amount of time which they spend for themselves, and there is something called relationship bank account. So the amount of time or the amount of energy which is utilized in investing in relationships with others. So for the same rule is applicable for devotees, that how much time we are giving for ourselves, for our own personal sadhana, and if we are balancing that with the association of devotees, that is very important. Otherwise, somebody just the example is always Sachidananda Swami Maharaj gave the tree of life. So if you continue to just water the roots, it is too much of water, sometimes the tree can die. And the association of devotees, or how much we are reciprocating with others, it's the crown, the flowers and fruits which we are giving to others. So that is reciprocal. And that is give and take which we receive. So, coming back to this verse, Lava Matra Sadhu-sanga, because if in this verse, the Prabhupada talks about lava, so that will focus our discussion on that lava word only. So that verse is there, like my CC Madhya 22.54, Sadhu-sanga, Sarva Shastre Kaya, Lava Matra Sadhu-sange, Sarva Siddhi Hai. It says that the verdict of all revealed scripture is that by even a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all success. So, what is this sadhu-sanga? Is it that, okay, like I am coming here and sitting with the devotees, is that just the only sadhu-sanga? If I'm just physically sitting here, but I am not into it, not receiving the real mercy of sadhu sangha, then what is the use of that sadhu sangha? And it need not be just that personal association of devotees sometimes, but the environment and facilities created by them. Like Srila Prabhupada, he is giving his association now also to so many people and all of us through the temples, the darshans. So many people come here to take darshan of the Lord, the different lectures, books, his books. He has given so many books. And of course, Mahaprasad, that is also one of the association by the mercy of the Lord. And Sankirtan, sometimes people see, devotees dancing beautifully on doing Nagar Sankirtan, and that's how they get attracted. And we are now already entered into book marathon, and some devotees who carry their Bhagavad Gita and other books, and they are distributing, and sometimes just by looking at their effulgence on their face, so many devotees, so many people, they get attracted. So Lord is giving through his devotees, his sadhus, acharyas, is actually giving us that sadhu-sanga. So the scriptures, the sadhu-sanga in this verse also, it is repeated 3 times. Sadhu-sanga, the word comes actually 3 times. So this phrase is that, why it is? Because the repetition is to show the importance and urgency of this Lava Matra Sadhu-sanga. And sadhus are basically carriers of this divine energy. They are carrying, the pure devotees are actually carrying the Lord in their heart. So when we are associating with these pure devotees, by whichever means, we are actually associating with Krishna. And just like, iron becomes red hot in contact with fire, our heart also becomes spiritually surcharged in the presence of devotees. And recently also we experienced this, those who could come for the Kartik Yatra and go at Govardhan. So much of kirtan and so much katha, visiting holy places, and it was like surcharging, especially the evening kathas by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and the kirtans. It made us go intense about the holy name, right? And this bhakti is not about just intellectual understanding of the scriptures, knowing the verses and details of that, but it is a matter of heart influence. It is a heart-to-heart transformation. The pure devotees actually are sharing their heart, the pure love for they have. Just like a lamp is lit. Once the lamp is lit, then if it goes to the other lamp, the wick, and it immediately gets lit up. The same thing happens with the association of these devotees. And this one moment is important, and it is enough. Just that, a dry wood, when it comes in contact with fire, it catches the fire. But if it is a wet wood, then it takes some time. Then you need to put some rock oil, kerosene, and all those things to lit up that thing. But if we are receptive, then that little association of pure devotees can ignite the heart. So today, we will try to look at some of this, we'll call that as a Lava Matra transformation moments, which we can see in our life, And there are many examples in the scriptures. So what could be these Lava Matra moments? I mean, this can be a thought for discussions. We can have long discussions on this point of that. What are the Lava Matra moments which we keep getting and which we have received? So one of them could be menial services, the service which we are engaged. And we can see from the example of Narad Muni. In his previous life, Narad Muni was a maid servant, son of a maid servant. And he was serving the traveling Bhaktivedantas. And just for a few days, actually, he served. And he received the mercy by pleasing those personalities, spiritual personalities. He received that mercy, and the next life he became Narad Muni, the topmost preacher. If anybody is thinking about preaching, we should always seek the blessings of Narad Muni. The another way of transformation, the Lavamatra transformation, can happen through prasad and the remnants sometimes of the devotees, pure devotees. So there is a story of Srila Ramanujacharya. So once he went, after having his prasad, he went and he washed his hands in the river Kaveri. And the remnants, the rice particles which were there, they actually washed away in that water. And some fishes, they did not know what this, but they saw that this food particle which is coming, and they just ate it without knowing whose remnants it is. And that transformed them, not ordinary, but transformed them into 400 forms of Lord Vishnu, and they went back to Godhead. That is the power of the remnants of the lords, or as well as the pure devotees remnants. Of course, remnants need not be just the food particle. Remnants could be the words which are coming out of the pure devotees' mouths. And we can see that sometimes the hearing, when we hear something, and that indirect hearing also, sometimes it is not, we may not be attentive while hearing. We can see that when Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb of Kayadu, Narad Muni came specifically because he was born in the family of Hiranyakashipu. So he came specifically and spoke the words from the scriptures. And he was actually indirectly hearing. Kayadu was hearing, but the child who was sitting in the womb, that he was also hearing. And he became the world's greatest devotee. I mean, we can say the child devotee. I mean, today, any child, if you look at them, they'll know the story of Prahlad Maharaj, story of Lord Narsingadev, and they know all the prayers of Lord Narsingadev. There is nothing which they will not know, right from childhood. So that is one effect. Then is another thing we can see is the unconscious reciting of the names. Sometimes people may mock, "Are you are Hare Krishnas." So like that they may mock us. But the scriptures also, we see so many examples. And Ajamil was actually, saved by calling that one name which he kept for his son, Narayana. So through that, association, that word which he had, of word Narayana, through that his life was saved. He was given another chance to practice his Krishna consciousness. So like that, it can have impact for us also. One meeting with pure devotees, that can also be our transformation moment. And we see that from the example of Dhruva Maharaj. He was a simple child, wanted to be on his father's lap. He was insulted and he became angry. And Mother Suniti actually told him that, okay, you go and do tapasya. But what was his intention? That his direction and his heart was changed with one meeting with Narad Muni. So that the transformation was that he abandoned all his revenge, his anger, and went on to become the Mahajan. Compassion is another aspect which can also be a transformation moment. And we can see this through the pastime of Jagai and Madai. When they were killing and hitting everyone, they hit Lord Nityananda also. But Lord Nityananda Prabhu's compassion melted them instantly, and they also became great devotees of the Lord. Fragrance of the, right now we are two devotees are sitting and doing service for Tulsi Maharani, plucking the petals of Tulsi Maharani. But that fragrance also, like, example of four Kumaras, they were not Shuddha Bhakta, they are not thinking as a pure devotees, but the thought process was impersonalist scholars. But as soon as they had the fragrance of Tulsi Maharani, their whole heart was transformed. So that was their moment. And sometimes the piercing words of devotees also can transform our heart. And there are so many examples. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada spoke so directly to some of his disciples and others, and that transformed their heart. And sometimes we may feel that, okay, if Prabhupada would have spoken to this, we were probably would have been heartbroken. But we see in Mahabharata, Vidura actually transformed Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was so attached to his children, the kingdom and everything. But he needed that heavy, piercing words of Vidura, which transformed his heart, and he then thought of leaving his kingdom for the higher purpose. So lifelong illusions which he had, representative of illusion, blindness. So because of one association and one piercing words of pure devotee, actually he left the kingdom for higher purpose. And Srila Prabhupada is a wonderful example of one instruction. That one instruction not only changed his destination, but it changed the destination of the whole world. Today we are sitting here and hearing because of that one instruction which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave to Srila Prabhupada. And that instruction of going and preaching to Krishna to English world, Western world, and that brought the revolution in the entire world. So many examples could be there. Even the darshan of the Lord. I mean, now next in January there will be Pushyabhishek. So special darshan. So somebody may come and somebody may just see the beautiful form of the Lord and the Pushyabhishek which is happening, and that can be the moment of transformation. So, what makes this association effective? It is because of the humble receptivity. Prabhupada said that if we are eager to hear and absorb Krishna consciousness, just like a dry sponge can absorb water, if we are eager and humble to receive, then that can happen. Or the service mood, if we are eager to serve with simple service, that will make the association effective. And while we are doing this, we need to leave the asat-sanga. This wrong association can drain our spiritual potency, whatever we have gathered, which can drain it. So, what are the things that the signs, how the sadhu-sanga is working? So, some signs definitely we can see that at least we develop taste for chanting. We develop some humility, deeper humility than what we had. More compassion towards other living beings. Detachment from our sinful habits. And desire to serve rather than to be served. So, this is our greatest treasure. Material world can look at wealth, talent, opportunity as the treasure, but spiritual life, it values that association, that just one moment can change the lifetime. So we should never miss a chance to associate with genuine devotees. And we don't know which moment, which class, which darshan, which instruction will be that lava matra moment. So we should keep looking for that lava matra moment. And this association is like a welding. So welding can connect two metal rods together. And that welding also can break the strong bonding. So it depends on what association we take is important. That's why other side of the coin of sadhu-sanga is asat-sanga. And that one moment of asat-sanga can be fatal to our spiritual life. So again, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu warns us in saying that asat-sanga tyaga ei Vaishnavachar. First duty is to give up bad association. And just as even the moments of sadhu-sanga can perfect, the moment of asat-sanga can be create challenge for us. And so Prabhupada wants that one moment can spoil our spiritual life. So Prabhupada defines that asat-sanga as attachment to the sense gratification, or anyone who is envious of Krishna or Krishna's devotees, if you are associating with them, that is asat-sanga. And those who speak against bhakti, and so these are external manifestation, and there is inner asat-sanga also, which is right in our heart, which is not visible. The shad ripus are there, the lower desires are there for us. So those are most dangerous, because those are very, very, it is like we don't know. They are like terrorists. When they come in disguise and attack, we don't know that. So this moment of asat sanga can be dangerous. And why it can be? Because it plants the seed of lust, anger, greed and doubt. And these seeds they grow very fast. They are weeds. They grow faster than the actual crop. So it's more dangerous. So we are trying to cultivate bhakti, but this will grow faster than this. The second thing is that it distorts our intelligence. Sometimes we see that the temporary that moment is there. In that moment we lose the ability to do the right decision, take a right decision, and we lose the judgment. And it can awaken our old habits. Long forgotten weaknesses can return back and creates impressions or sanskaras which will pull us back even after years, sometimes to our previous lives also. So Prabhupada gives that very nice example of that milk is pure, but a single drop of poison can spoil the whole pot. So sometimes our Ayurveda doctors, they give this example that, okay, you may be, there is no cheat day actually in diet. Because one cheat day spoils the whole tapasya, whatever you have done for good diet, the same thing is here for us also. So we'll see that what are these lower matra asat sanga can do the damage. So it can be one glance, what we see can ruin our life. So some example for that is very famous example of Ajamil, and Prabhupada quite often actually quoted this example. He was a Brahmana and learned, well-behaved person, but he just saw this one woman, prostitute basically, embracing another drunkard person. And that one moment, whatever he saw, and his life changed. I'll not say transformed, but it degraded. So that image stuck, and the lust was awakened. And all his good intelligence was collapsed. So it's a long story. But the lesson we can learn is that one impure sight can destroy our years of virtue or lifetimes of virtues. So this is the one example of Ajamil, just by seeing that. The other thing which can happen could be because of the emotional influence, the sentimental influence which we can have. So Kashyapa Muni was performing severe vows, but Diti approached him, and she wanted to unite with him for procreation at the wrong time, the sunset. And he tried to convince, but the emotional influence was so much that brief weakness created two great demons, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. So, I mean, anyone, like, even a saintly person can slip, or if he allows that momentary weakness of wrong association, and that weak moment can be dangerous. Then it could be misdirected compassion. And the example is of Bharat Maharaj. He was affectionate. He was actually on a bhava platform, but misdirected compassion towards the deer. And he became dear to deer, and he became dear in next life. He had whole efforts, whatever he did for so many years, that went for a toss. And even a single meeting, Pururava actually saw that Urvashi, and he considered as sense object, and within moments he became obsessed and spent years in suffering and delusion. So we can see that many of these things can actually cause so much of damage. The satsanga can cause this thing. But in today's date also, these things are coming in much more advanced ways. So we should avoid the media or internet association. That is one of the greatest bottleneck or association which impacts us. Because one video, one wrong video, one clip, it is for Ajamil, he had to go to that forest and he had to see this. But now it is happening right in front of us in one of our mobile phones also. Any kind of a clip can come, and that can corrupt our consciousness. The association with critics or atheists or people who are doubting the spirituality, their vibrations also can enter our mind. Or another danger, which is about gossiping, Gramya Katha or Prajalpa. We love to talk about, people, that this person did that, this person did. So that is the whole material consciousness is there. And that mentality becomes our mentality. Or somebody who are talking about, they are doing sensual talks or mundane jokes or mixing of men and women freely. And those again plant the lusty impressions in our heart, can potentially do that. And association with our past tendencies or old habits, some triggers can actually create the problem. So we see that, in the pawn shops, there are cigarette packets, and every cigarette packet, there is a picture of a person whose jaw is gone, and it is written boldly that smoking is injurious to health. So similarly, this asatsanga is injurious to our spiritual health. So some practical things which we can do is strengthen our sadhu-sanga, that good association. We should strive to look for that, because it will only counteract the bad impressions. When we are sitting in a Bhagavatam class or reading Bhagavatam class, so when we are sitting together along with the devotees, then when we are focused, then we actually don't think about any of these bad impressions. And of course, we can control our sense exposure, what we see, what we hear. And the most important thing which Prabhupada also said is that we should make ourselves so busy in Krishna's service that there is no time for Maya. And we see that so many devotees of Srila Prabhupada's disciples actually, so much engaged in the services, no time for any of the other thought process. And another thing is avoid lonely environments where old habits can attack. No? So that's where, we should have at least one devotee or even the association or through so many lectures or books of Srila Prabhupada, and of course daily Shravanam of Bhagavad Gita and what Prabhupada has given. So basically sadhu-sanga gives that spiritual life and asat-sanga destroys the spiritual life, and one moment of each has powerful effect for both the side. It's coin of which has both the sides. Like one spark can burn the whole forest, and one spark of bad association can burn the entire spiritual determinations what we have. So we should value every moment with devotees and avoid every moment of asat sanga. And even that spark, we have to just not look at that as a one-time event. It is not lava matra sadhu sanga is not one-time lava matra or just that for one moment, but to actually develop that love for sadhu sanga. That is something which we can strive for, and that is which will sustain us in the bhakti. Today also is Odana-shasti, the very special day, right? Today is Odana-shasti, right? So I'll just briefly talk about that very sweet pastime, and it is a day that where winter begins. Of course, in today's situation, because of so many factors, we don't know when winter will come, at least in Mumbai, but one day it will come. But as per the Panchang and other these things, the Odana-shasti is a festival day. It is marked for this particular festival. Actually, devotees look for opportunity for having different festivals. And on this day, the Lord is offered new winter coverings. And this pastime which took place, and Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he was dear associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually eternally liberated soul, of Rishabhanu Maharaj, father of Srimati Radharani. And he were present in Jagannath temple in Puri with, he was there with Sarup Damodar. And he was thinking that when this cloth is offered, it should be washed. It was with the starch. So according to the Vidhi, you cannot offer starch clothes. You have to offer the washed clothes, clean clothes. It is considered impure offering starch clothes. But it was offered, and Sarup Damodar, Pundarik Vidyanidhi was observing that, these priests are doing this and how they can offer this kind of clothes to Lord Jagannath and Balramji. So he became very disturbed and he started criticizing the priests. He in fact told them that, why you are being so disrespectful and violating the rules. This is not pure. And his mind became polluted temporarily with that fault-finding attitude. Of course, this is Krishna's pastime. We cannot say that, he was with that intention. And Sarup Damodar was a sadhu-sanga which he had. And that Sarup Damodar was telling him that he was trying to pacify, explaining that these are the customs of Jagannath Puri and this is unique, that it is by the will of the Lord. Lord wants it. But Pundarik Vidyanidhi remained unsatisfied. He was arguing with the priest, he was arguing with Sarup Damodar, so that they should follow the injunctions. And that night, Pundarik Vidyanidhi went off to sleep, and these two personalities, great brothers, Lord Jagannath, Lord Balramji, appeared him in his dream. They were smiling, but at the same time they are very furious. They're smiling because they are coming to see a great personality, but they're furious because he had offended his own associates, the priests there. So they began slapping him, both of them, repeatedly on his cheeks, chastising him for finding fault in their devotees' service. And they claimed, Lord Jagannath proclaimed that these rules was created by himself, and how he could, go against that. And he cannot have his, he said that I can transcend all my rules by my own desire. And they continued to slap him for extended period until Pundarik Vidyanidhi started weeping and begging forgiveness. And, he placed his head on the feet of the Lord. And next day when Pundarik Vidyanidhi woke up and his cheeks were swollen and he had red marks on his cheeks. And that was a physical manifestation. Sometimes people, when they go, like the thieves, they get beaten up in the police station and they have visible marks on their face. So like that, the Lord actually gave him those special low marks on his face. But one thing which we can see, that Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he was ecstatic and he was feeling blessed. He did not see those marks as punishment. He saw those marks as Lord's most intimate and purifying mercy, which has corrected that momentary error, momentary deviation of criticizing the devotees. So this is the mercy which Pundarik Vidyanidhi received. And these are the lessons for us also, that we cannot, when the Lord's pure devotees are doing something, it is by the direct intervention of the Lord. And we cannot change those as rules. We cannot go by the book of law. So, and Sarup Damodar Goswami, when he saw this swollen face of Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he was laughing and he was having fun very joyfully. And then he also, it was not mocking him, but he said that no one is so fortunate to receive this kind of personal chastisement by the Lord. So this is the special day to remind us that how we can always think how we can serve the Lord, and same time while serving the Lord we have the importance of association of devotees who are there to help us, to stop us going towards the sadhu-sanga and keep us on the track of love of sadhu-sanga. And the moments which we are going to experience in Krishna consciousness, the more we experience these loving moments with the Lord and the devotees, the more our life is successful. Otherwise, it is just killing of time or spending of time. It's not the investment of time. So, this whole pastime and even the Srimad Bhagavatam is talking so much about giving guidance and lot of hope to us. And if we just think that, how much time, we don't know how much time we have left. So, and with that mood, if we just go on collecting these moments, the Krishna conscious moments in our life, every moment will be a celebration. Every moment will be a blissful experience for us. So, these are some thoughts which I thought I could share. Please forgive me if I have spoken something which is beyond my realizations, but I just repeated from what I heard from the senior Vaishnavas, some of the whatever Prabhupada has written. So, thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.